New York. Member-supported public television.
December membership campaign. Actually, it's our debut of her concert on television right here on WLIW. And she's actually spending a little time with us in the studio to do our Metro Guide interview. So here she is, Lara Fabian. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Now, your show's been doing well, so we may hear the phones ringing a little bit behind us as we're talking, so don't let it disturb you. But that's good news for you that your first concert's taking off.
Yes, it is. I was really happy to be able to do that for public television.
Now, people know you from singing sort of your dance hit, I Will Love Again. Now, we hear this on all the big radio stations here in New York City, but that's not actually your style all the way.
Actually, I would say style, a category, and to fall into one specific category limits the freedom of music. I believe that. This is why on the record you find so many different colors, and I Will Love Again is part of these different colors, and definitely is a different one, and I agree with you on that level. On the other hand, if you only do one specific style and you only originate music from one thing, then when you have to hold on stage for 2 hours, it can get pretty not boring, but I would say the same thing all the time, and people can kind of get a little tired of it. So I always purposely wanted, even if I do it in French or Italian, because I have different recordings as well as in French, I always wanted to touch on different styles. And it's a very nice way to never fall into any category.
So you were just talking about singing in so many different languages. So if we attend one of your concerts, or if we're fortunate to see this one on WLIW, we're treated to what styles of music? And we're also hearing French, Spanish, English, and Italian.
Exactly, which are the languages that I've been raised with and that I speak. You know, what style of music? I've been studying classical music for 10 years, and definitely you hear the Latin passionate influence and sometimes the ability to play a role in a song, because a song is not just something you perform, it's something you can interpret, and you can give a certain kind of emotion in. So I would say the style, the glue is definitely the way I will interpret a song, and the way I love to act a lyric or a character that I specifically wrote about. Because everything is not about me, of course, and sometimes I just pick on certain people's lives and what inspires me and the humanity behind a human being. And I will write a song and then perform what I saw, interpret what I saw.
Well, why don't we get a feeling for that? We have some of your concert. We're going to hear a little bit of it now. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Tell me again, I want to hear. Broke my faith in all these years. Who lays with you at night when I'm here all alone? Remembering when I was your own. I let you go, I let you fly.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the fact that besides your music is beautiful, that you do know these 4 different languages. Where did you grow up?
I was born in Brussels, and I grew up in Sicily for the first 6 years, 7 years, and then moved back to Brussels for school. And then around the age of 19, 20, I decided to move to North America, and so leave behind everything I knew and I was raised with, and to find another culture, and English was a language that I spoke, but when you actually live in North America, you speak that every day, and it really gets better. So it was another issue that I really wanted to solve, to be able to write better in English than I used to.
It's such a little bit of an accent you have. You hardly hear anything. It's amazing after living in so many places. You can speak that way.
I think that's music, again, that really helps me pick up on the accent.
You moved across the ocean without your parents when you were very young. This is some commitment to your craft.
It is, and it took unconsciousness. I really had, in some respect, not to know exactly what I was doing, I think. because I didn't have anything. I didn't have friends, I didn't have family, I didn't have technically the means to do that.
Then how'd you do it?
I was here, I was in North America for holidays, and I visited some friends, and I just love the spirit, the freedom, the fact that you can be conservative and you can have values, and at the same time you can look ahead and you can really think that believing in what you are is not a sin or a problem. And Europe can be very conservative at a certain point, especially if you're a songwriter, if you're a woman, if you're young and you have some opinions about stuff. You can get trapped into some kind of sexism, some kind of conservatism that will lead you to stop growing and evolving, and that I just couldn't take.
You're a strong woman. Very
Well, you know, strong, sometimes it can be misunderstood, but I believe that the sense of determination that I had went along with the fact that we got to grow from what we are. And we were born in a certain place with certain education, and we have, it's a duty, I believe, a responsibility we have towards ourselves to grow from what we got to a better place.
What did before we run out of time, what did your parents think with this move?
They helped me. My dad actually did something amazing. He gave me the savings that he had gathered for 20 years to allow me to record this first album and leave to Canada and work there. And I did, I mean, all the things you can imagine, worked into clubs and took little jobs because you got to survive. I had $1,000 when I landed in North America. I didn't have anything. And I opened a company, and it took me 10 years, 10 good years to get to a certain solid place and stable place.
But you've been a big star in France for quite a while, so it got easier once you got started.
It got easier. It took 9 years, though.
Did it really?
Yes, altogether to get to the place where you get awards and you have a big crowd and you can sell stadiums and there's 10,000 people at your concerts. That took me 9 years. And 9 has been a very important number in my life. It always, when the number 9 kicked in, always something pretty good happened. So when I'll be 90 maybe, I'll be no, it's just that I have faith in certain things, and North America, Canada, especially Quebec, brought me the luck and that little sparkle that I needed.
That's beautiful. And what's next for you?
Now I'm going to be promoting again, and I'm going to do another French record, and I'm going to be touring again. And the live performance is probably the most important thing in my life. It always allowed me to make people understand better who I was, and that's why this is so important to me, that I'm allowed here on public TV to show a little bit of what I do.
Well, Lara, I have to thank you so much. It was wonderful to have you here, and I think our volunteers enjoyed seeing you as well. Lara Fabian's CD, self-titled Lara Fabian, is available to you in the stores, and you'll get to hear her singing in those many languages and just hear that passion in her voice. So please pick it up. You'll enjoy it, and you'll probably see her concert here again in March. So if you missed it in December, keep your eyes on her schedule.